fellow carbon-based bipeds. I am Scott Rose, and you are watching Explosions and Stuff. Today, I'll be reviewing the 1994 film Kickboxer 4, starring Sasha Mitchell, Kamel Kriva, Brad Thornton, and Michelle Krasnu. But first, a word from our sponsors. An overview of the movie? While in prison for a crime he didn't commit, David Sloan discovers that former rival Tong Po has kidnapped his wife. 2 years later, Sloan is recruited by the DEA to go undercover in Po's compound to fight in a tournament and kill Tong Po. Sloan happily agrees to rescue his wife and to take Tong Po out of the picture for good. The pros of this movie? Well, first of all, the fights in this movie were absolutely phenomenal. They just were fantastic to watch. I mean, they had real martial artists in these fight scenes using real martial arts, and the fight scenes were nice and crisp and hard hitting and believable and just fantastic and a joy to watch. Also, the sets in this movie were surprisingly good. I mean, seriously, this movie was made for $400,000. For an action movie, that's not a lot. That's not a lot of money at all. But they have this gorgeous, I think it's like a villa or like a hotel or something in Mexico that they used, and they just built it up to look like this compound. It was fantastic and glorious. The prison sets looked great. I mean, all of the sets in this movie were just absolutely phenomenal, and you could tell like that's where a lot of the money went. It was to securing these locations and just getting them and working them. And they really stretched the budget with this stuff. And it looked absolutely phenomenal and gorgeous and amazing. The sets in this movie were beautiful. But my all-time favorite thing about this movie, Michelle Krasnu. I mean, you look at her when you first see her in the movie, you're like, okay, this is just some cute girl that they got, and they're going to try and make her look like some badass. You know, they're trying to sell you on the fact that this is a badass character. But you're thinking, you know, she's not that great of an actress. She probably got the part because of her looks. That's what you're thinking going in. But then you watch her fight. I mean, she is a legit martial artist. She's won like tournaments and competitions and stuff all over the country. She is phenomenal. And those fight scenes, just absolutely beautiful. Just amazing, gorgeous, fantastic fight scenes. The best fight scenes in the movie. Doesn't look awkward at all. Just glorious and amazing. She stole the show. I mean, seriously, I don't give a damn about David Sloan's character. I don't care about his wife. Let her die. Doesn't matter. Give me more of this character. Let me see more of Michelle Krasnu kicking ass and taking names and being a proper badass character because she stole the show. The cons of this movie? Okay, let's start here. The sounds in this movie. I mean, there was just some points where sounds were missing. And by that I mean, at one point, David Sloan's sitting in his prison cell and he gets the letter from Tong Po saying that he's got his wife. It's sitting on his desk. He just grabs it, all these papers are on the desk, and throws them across the room. No sound. You don't hear papers flying. You don't hear papers sliding. No sound whatsoever. At one point, David Sloan gets this manila envelope, and that's held closed with like one of the metal brad things, and he just grabs the flap and yanks it. No sound. You don't hear any sound of the envelope being opened. And a lot of the fight scenes, like these hard-hitting, gritty fight scenes, are supposed to be intense and fantastic, and they're beautifully choreographed. But they have no music. I'm sorry, but music is a key element in building up the suspense and emotion and excitement in a fight scene. The most amazingly choreographed and amazingly shot fight scene will be horribly boring if it doesn't have the proper music. The music is a key element in setting the mood for a fight scene. Now, moving on from that, they had some horrible night shots in this movie. And by that I mean they filmed the scenes that take place at night, but they filmed them during the day. And like they just put a dark blue filter over it, but you can tell that the sun's up because some parts of the screen are a lighter shade of blue. It's just horrible and hilarious that they tried to pull this off. I get it, $400,000 to make the whole movie. They had to cut corners where they could, so they filmed it, during the day and edited it and did the editing later to make it look like night. But it doesn't look like night. It just looks blue and it's funny. And at first, when I was watching, I was like, the first time I watched it before I knew what day for night was, I was like, what the hell is this? But then once I learned about how you can shoot scenes during the day and edit them to make it look like night, I watched this, and now that scene just makes me laugh. They had a couple of those scenes, and both times they make me laugh. But the biggest issue that I have with this movie is just the entirety of Tong Po. He's been in previous Kickboxer movies. He's the main villain in Kickboxer 1 and Kickboxer 2. He is just this brute, muscular force of destruction. He's not the brains of any operation. He's not an intelligent individual. He's just one of those guys who punches and kicks stuff and is just a wrecking ball. And yet in this movie, they decided to turn him into an international drug kingpin, the head of this crime syndicate, and just, genius level intellect. And they also had him played by a white dude. But they painted his face up and put makeup on him to make his face look Asian. But the rest of his body was clearly Caucasian. No, just no. It doesn't look right. It's noticeably different. Like, at one point, he's sitting there fighting with a shirt off. And his torso is clearly white. And his head is clearly makeup to look Asian. It's just ridiculous and laughable and frankly quite insulting. So just the entirety of Tong Po's character is a huge no-no. It's a huge mark against this movie. My overall thoughts on the movie? This movie has some laughable problems, but it's still entertaining, so I give it one thumb up. This isn't something that you watch if you want to see a good movie. Part of what makes this entertaining is just how bad it is. I must have watched this movie at least 5 times, probably more. If you don't mind fun, dumb entertainment, then you should check out Kickboxer 4. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like it and subscribe to my channel for new action movie reviews posted every week and top 10 lists posted on the 10th of every month. Also, if you have any recommendations for things you would like me to cover in the future, please leave them in the comments below and follow us on Twitter at explosions_TV. Thank you and have a nice day.